So as I read the book, I was seeing things in my mind, and I think at that moment I realized that we needed a fairly sophisticated look. Because the story has some really sweet, innocent things, but it's also incredibly powerful, and it's got some huge emotional ballast. And I didn't want people to see this as a simple, like perhaps a kid's film. So that CG look that we are also habituated to is something that we in animation have really been trying to get away from for a long time, and we were tied to it electronically. Like that was the limit of our programming. Anytime you see a film from a studio, I guarantee you are likely seeing the outer edge of their capabilities as far as technology and art. And I knew that at DreamWorks, we stood on the precipice of some amazing things. They had already done Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, and and Bad Guys, and they had this amazing illustrated look. And I asked our production designer, Roman Zivak, how far can we go? Could we possibly take our inspirational paintings? Could our film's destination be the very same thing as the very first paintings that we were doing? These very loose, sort of impressionistic paintings. How far towards that could we get? And to my absolute amazement, they got all the way there. So the look of the film is 100% painted. And it's interesting that you mention that because it's worth noting that the only real CG element is Roz at the very, very beginning. The bit that you saw, Roz's surface is the only traditionally CG thing in the film. As she spends time on the island, her surface will be replaced by paint strokes. So by the end of the film, she has 100% painted surface, as does every environment and sky and tree and every other character. So she actually becomes a part of the island. So the look of the film was incredibly difficult to achieve, but it is absolutely groundbreaking. And the last thing I'll say is that when I got involved in animation, it was because I saw films like Bambi and My Neighbor Totoro, which I so admired. And that analog warmth that you only get from hand-painted things, we lost contact with that to some degree when CG came along. And with The Wild Robot, I insist that we have now come full circle and we've arrived back where animation really began. We now have all the capability of CG and the ability to move the camera in space, but we have returned to the analog warmth that only a hand-painted surface can create.